Hi everyone, how are you? We are live? Yes, we are. How are you all? How is it going? How was your day? Okay, try to describe your day in 3 words. Think of 3 words that you can use to describe your day. Alright, by the time I'll share the link to you all. Sorry, my bad. Okay, any 3 words to describe your day? The question is that you have to describe your day in 3 words. Now, try to figure out any 3 words that you can use to describe your day. Okay, I'm really sorry. Just sharing the link in the group. Hi, Path of Soul. Hi, Gaurav. Hello. Now, why was I late? Because I wasn't feeling well. I had a pretty long day, as a result of which I wasn't feeling well. That's why the session got delayed, as usual. But I'm here to take a very good session on work vocabulary. Along with that, we will also be working on the grammar skills of yours. Okay, so we're going to learn one topic, that is preposition. We'll be just covering a little bit of preposition today, one topic of preposition. So without further ado, let's begin. And I will be sharing my screen. So let me know if it is visible properly. Yeah. So I'm assuming that my screen is visible to you all. There's no issue with that. If yes, we shall continue. So there are 3 sentences written on your screen. First is, I do fairly blank tasks. Word in yellow. There's one word in yellow. Think about its pronunciation. What could be the pronunciation of this word? Next, the job is rewarding and stimulating. And the third one is, sometimes I have a heavy workload, but at other times it can be quite light. Right? So here you will be learning 4 words. It could be new for you, it could be familiar, but let's actually dive deeper into the meaning of each and every word written on the screen in yellow. Now, the first word is mundane. However, it is pronounced as mundane. Mundane. How do you pronounce it? It is pronounced as mundane. I hope my screen is visible. Alright, so the pronunciation of this word is mundane. Okay, the next 2 words are rewarding and stimulating. And the third one is workload. So read the first sentence and try to fathom out the meaning of the first one. So it is mundane. Mundane. Now mundane means what? We will see in a while. The next is, the job is rewarding and stimulating. So these are the adjectives that can be used to describe your job. Now, is it in positive way or negative way? We will see in a while. And sometimes I have a heavy workload. The word clearly signifies that the person is talking about the work which a person usually have at workplace, but load here means it could be a very tight schedule as well. When there's a lot on your plate, then you use this word workload. Anyway, let's see it one by one. So mundane, when you're saying I do fairly mundane tasks. Let's say that I ask you this question, how was your job today? Or what is your job profile? And if you're saying that I do fairly mundane task, that means you're saying that it was very ordinary, it was very commonplace. It was something that was lacking excitement or interest. So you were doing your regular task today. Or let's say when you're saying I did mundane task, that means your regular activities that you usually do, nothing extraordinary. So this is what mundane means. Mundane simply means something that is very ordinary, something that is very commonplace, something that lacks excitement or interest. This is mundane. Now it describes things or activities that are routine like. So this is something that you need to be particular about. Mundane means something which is routine like, which is a part of your routine, which is like every day, something which is not very extraordinary but ordinary is mundane. Alright, I hope this is clear. Something which is very dull, uninteresting is mundane. For example, the mundane task of data entry was boring. So here mundane means a regular task of data entry, nothing extraordinary but routine like. The mundane life lacked adventure. So mundane means a routine life, or your everyday life, let's say, lacked adventure. That means it has no adventure. So this is how you use the word mundane. Mundane is not actually boring, but something which is very much routine like. It is not the direct replacement of the word boring, remember, but something which is routine like. Alright, I hope this is clear. The next one is the job is rewarding. The job is rewarding. Just a second. Yeah. The job is rewarding and stimulating. What do you mean by that? When you're saying that the job is rewarding and stimulating, you simply here mean that the job is very fulfilling, very satisfying. It provides a sense of achievement or benefit. So when you're describing a job as rewarding or stimulating, here rewarding means something which is very satisfactory, something that satisfies you. There's sense of content, there's sense of achievement or benefit in it. There you use this word rewarding. Now rewarding is a very positive word. Rewarding is very positive word. So if you're describing a job as rewarding, it means that you are talking good about it. Okay? So rewarding simply means something which is or something that provides you sense of fulfillment, satisfaction, achievement or benefit. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's see some more examples. So volunteering is a rewarding experience. That means you feel very satisfied after doing it. Or completing the challenging project was very rewarding. That means though it was very challenging, however, for some reason, it came out as rewarding. You were very much satisfied after completing that challenging task. It's good for your confidence also if you do something like this. Alright, now the next word is stimulating, which is not similar to rewarding. Now stimulating simply means something that is engaging or exciting. Engaging means जो आपके दिमाग को सोचने में मजबूर करता है, mental activity provoke करता है. Okay, it could be activity, experience or any situation that provoke interest, curiosity or mental activity. So if अगर आप अपने जॉब में जाके कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हैं जिसकी वजह से आप grow कर रहे हैं mentally, there's a lot of mental activity, interest है, curiosity develop कर रही है अगर वो चीज़, then your job is very stimulating. Your job is not mundane but stimulating because every day there's a new adventure. Therefore, you use the word stimulating. And on the contrary, if you're saying mundane, mundane means simply something which is very dull, very ordinary, nothing extraordinary. Is it clear? So, the stimulating discussion sparked new ideas. The stimulating environment fostered innovation. So, something जो आपके दिमाग को सोचने के लिए मजबूर कर रहा है, जो उत्सुकता जगा रहा है या जो इंटरेस्ट जगा रहा है, यू आर गेटिंग क्यूरियस अबाउट इट. सो ऐसी कोई भी एक्टिविटी, एक्सपीरियंस या सिचुएशन, उसे हम स्टिम्युलेटिंग बोलते हैं. ना इन बिटवीन आई विल ऑल्सो try to use Hindi so that I can express better. Otherwise, it will be mostly simple Hindi, simple English. Sorry, my bad. Alright, I hope this is clear. Moving towards the next one. Workload. Now, this is very common and nothing extraordinary about it, but let's discuss it. So, workload means when you have a lot of work to do, refers to amount of work or task that need to be completed by an individual, team, or an organization with a given period of time. Alright, so anything that requires a lot of effort, anything that includes a lot of work is basically a workload that need to be completed by an individual, team, or organization. Alright, so if you have a lot on your plate, then in that case you use the word workload. Alright, so this is something very ordinary. Alright, now there are 3 blanks on the screen. Read it carefully. I'll give you 2 minutes. Read it carefully and try to fill in the blank. And your time starts now. If you have the answers, you can stop dropping it down in the chat section. Do we have the answers? Start dropping it down in the chat section, please. After years of the same dash or blank tasks, she was craving something more exciting in her career. What is the answer of the first one? The answer is mundane. Mundane. Teaching young minds can be challenging, but it's undeniably rewarding to see their progress and growth. So the second answer is rewarding. And the conference featured a series of blank discussions and thought-provoking presentations from leading experts. So here, your third blank is stimulating. So it's in the same series, same order as we have discussed earlier, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Now, there's another paragraph for you all on the screen. Read it very meticulously by yourself once, and then we will be discussing these words and phrases, of course. Alright, so I'm a pilot. The working hours are irregular and antisocial. I'm stuck behind a desk. But long haul flight, I'm not stuck behind a desk. but long haul flights can be bit mind numbing. Most of the time, the plane just flies itself. We work to very tight schedules, but I shouldn't complain. I feel sorry for people who are stuck in a rut or who are in dead end jobs. Now we have few words in yellow here, and that is what we will be discussing. Or I should say, we have phrases here. So, antisocial, behind a desk, mind numbing, tight schedules, stuck in a rut, and dead end jobs. Right, so these are the phrases that we will be discussing now. Now, what do you understand by the paragraph? So basically, this paragraph is talking about a pilot who's not very much content, not very much satisfied with the job. Why? Because he feels that the job is not giving him proper time to socialize, though he's not stuck behind desk. That means he's not having any sort of desk job. But long haul flights can be at times mind numbing. Mind numbing means boring. Right? It can be boring, of course, for a human. So we work on tight schedules. That means there's a lot on plate. Always. They're swarmed with work. But still they feel sorry for people who are stuck in a rut. That means they're stuck in the same job and sort of not having growth mindset. They are dead end jobs. They're not growing. They're not being productive. So this is what the paragraph says. Now, antisocial means what? It is a phrase that refers to behavior or action that are unfriendly, unsociable, and avoiding interaction with others. And why does this happen? Because they do not get enough time to interact with people because of the busy, tight schedules and long haul flights. So it can also refer to a person who avoids social situations or lacks interest in socialization. So if you're calling someone antisocial, then that person is not really interested in talking to people, lacks interest in socializing. So it can be used for that person also. But here in this paragraph, they're talking about the irregular hours. The working hours are antisocial. This is something that you must remember. Working hours are antisocial, but it can also be used for person who does not like to interact or socialize much, who's not interested in socializing. For example, his antisocial behavior made it difficult for him to connect with his colleagues at work. Alright? So I'm assuming that now you know the meaning of the word antisocial. Next, mind numbing. So mundane we already know. Mundane means what? Something which is very ordinary, very routine-like, very commonplace. Nothing extraordinary is going on. Whenever for any activity, experience or situation we are using mundane. But mind numbing specifically means that something is extremely boring. Something is very monotonous. Monotonous means something which is boring. Something which is mostly repetitive. To the point that it dulls the mind. It actually dulls your mind and causes lack of interest or engagement. So जब बहुत ज़्यादा बोर हो जाते हैं कि आपका दिमाग भी काम करना बंद कर देता है, there you can use this word mind numbing. For example, the repetitive data entry task was so mind numbing that she struggled to stay awake. Okay. इतनी ज़्यादा नींद आ रही थी when you were doing that task of data entry कि your mind was numbing, of course, but at the same time you were struggling to stay awake. इतनी ज़्यादा नींद आ रही थी कि आपको struggle करना पड़ रहा था जागने के लिए because your brain stopped working. The data entry task was extremely boring, as a result of which your brain stopped working and struggled to stay awake. So this is what mind numbing means. The next one, tight schedules. When you have a lot on your plate, when your schedule is very tight and there's not much room for free time or flexibility, then you use this word tight schedule. Okay, due to tight schedule of back-to-back meetings, she had to skip her lunch break. Now, how do you pronounce this word? So, if we talk about American English, it is pronounced as schedule. Schedule. It is not schedule. It's either schedule or schedule. Okay, it is never, don't ever say schedule, because there's no such pronunciation of the word. Now, when it comes to pronunciation, I feel like you should either go for American or stick to British. There's no Indian pronunciation. Try not to make it Indian, but either go for American or British. Now, I usually prefer American, but if I feel like no, the pronunciation of the British pronunciation is more stylish, so I go for that. If it is more fancy, then I go for that. So usually I prefer American, but if British one is more fancy or is fancier, then I prefer that. Alright, so here American one is schedule. Schedule. It is schedule. Joel. It's not duel or not duel. Schedule. Schedule. That's how you do it. Alright. Next one. Dead end jobs. ऐसी jobs जिसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी एडवांसमेंट की, ग्रोथ की या करियर डेवलपमेंट की बहुत कम है. नाउ हाउ डू यू प्रोनाउंस दिस? It is not development. It is not development. It is development. Development. Advancement. Development. And it is not career. Don't call it as or don't pronounce it as career. But it is career. Career. And development. Career development. Opportunity. Opportunity. For advancement, growth, or career development. These jobs often have limited potential and can become stagnant. So ऐसी jobs जिसमें growth की opportunity बहुत कम है, career development की या advancement की, those jobs are called as dead end jobs. He realized that the data entry position he had been in for years was a dead end job with no chance for promotion. डेड एंड जॉब मीन्स जिसमें प्रमोशन के चांसेस ही नहीं है, आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी ही नहीं मिलेगी. दोज जॉब्स आर नोन एज डेड एंड जॉब्स. स्टक इन अ रट. नाउ व्हेन योर जॉब or when your situation is like where you feel trapped, unproductive, and unable to make progress or positive changes, for those situations or for those, let's say, experiences, you use this word stuck in a rut. So after doing the same routine for years, or after having the same routine for years, he felt like he was stuck in a rut and needed a fresh start. कैसे चीज़ें होती, कैसे हम डिसाइड करते हैं दैट यू आर स्टक इन अ रट? ऐसी कोई चीज़ जो आप कर रहे हो, स्पेशली जॉब से रिलेटेड, जिसमें यू फील लाइक यू नॉट ग्रोइंग. अब प्रोडक्टिविटी आपकी ज़ीरो हो चुकी है, यू नॉट प्रोग्रेसिंग, आप स्टैगनेंट हो चुके हो, कोई भी पॉजिटिव चेंज आप में नहीं आ रहा है, यू आर नॉट लर्निंग एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ स्किल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल डेटा एंट्री. आई फील पर्सनली कि डेटा एंट्री में आपको डेटा उठा के एंटर करना है, उसमें आप कोई नई चीज़, नई स्किल नहीं सीख रहे हो, नया कुछ भी गेन नहीं कर रहे हो आउट ऑफ इट, राइट? योर माइंड इज स्टैगनेंट, सेम रेपिटेटिव हो रहा है, नॉट लर्निंग एनी थिंग. सो डेटा एंट्री जॉब्स को हम बोल सकते हैं दैट वी आर स्टक इन अ रट एंड आई वॉन्ट टू प्रोग्रेस और आई वॉन्ट टू ग्रो. आई डोंट फील दैट दिस जॉब इज प्रोवाइडिंग मी दैट, राइट? सो ऐसी चीज़, ऐसी सिचुएशन, ऐसी एक्सपीरियंसेस जिसमें यू फील लाइक यू ट्रैप्ड, उससे निकल नहीं पा रहे, देयर यू यूज दिस फ्रेज स्टक इन अ रट. ऑलराइट, सो दीज वर द वर्ड्स that I wanted to discuss with you all. These are all work related vocabulary, and that's why the title of today's session was work related vocabulary. Why? Because we are precisely discussing things or words that can be used at workplace. So we had mundane. Mundane means what exactly? Mundane means simply something which is very routine, like very commonplace, very ordinary. कुछ extra नहीं कर रहे हैं, कुछ different, कुछ adventurous नहीं कर रहे हैं, but हम routine वाली चीज़ें कर रहे हैं. For those things, you use this word mundane. Rewarding, if you feel like your job is very satisfying, or the task you did, or the challenging task that you did was very satisfying, fulfilling, you've had this sense of achievement within you, then you can use the word rewarding. Stimulating means any activity, any situation, or any experience that provokes your interest or curiosity. For that, you use the word stimulating. And workload means when you have a lot of work that you're supposed to wind up or complete, then in that case, you use the word workload. Then antisocial can be used for a person or any experiences where you don't get enough time to socialize or you're not interested in socializing. Behind a desk, it is basically a desk job जिसमें आपको एक desk और chair में बैठना है and then you're supposed to do work. Now work could be anything, but you have a desk which is a part of your job profile. बैठ के काम करने वाली चीज़ है. So pilots के साथ generally नहीं ऐसा होता है. They go on fields, they fly, or let's say they have long haul flights. So उसकी वजह से you cannot call it as behind a desk job. Behind a desk job कैसी होती है? IT sector में जो services provide करते हैं. For them, you can use this phrase that they are stuck behind a desk or they have a desk job. Right? Long haul flights, mind numbing. Mind numbing means something जो कि इतना boring होता है कि आपका दिमाग shut हो जाता है, आपका दिमाग बंद हो जाता है. इतनी boring होती है वो चीज़ that you struggle to stay awake. That is called as mind numbing. And tight schedules means when you have a lot on your plate. And stuck in a rut means आप वही काम करते करते when you start feeling trapped or you don't feel like you're being productive, there's no growth, there's no progress, then you feel ki okay, now I'm stuck in a rut. And dead end again also means the same, when you feel like कि आगे कोई growth ही नहीं है, आगे कोई opportunity ही नहीं है, ऐसी jobs are called as dead end jobs. Alright, so I hope this is clear. I'm assuming that all these words that we have discussed until now are clear. Very good, very sophisticated words that you can use at your workplace. Now, prepositions of time is something that I would want to discuss. So the title of today's session was Work Vocabulary and Grammar Refinement. And in grammar refinement also we'll be discussing this topic of preposition, that is preposition of time. What are prepositions? Words like on, in, at. There are other prepositions also, but we are specifically discussing prepositions of time that are on, in, and at. So now remember that whenever you're talking about days and dates, on 6th of March, my birthday is on 4th November. My birthday is on 14th May. My birthday is on 5th April. My birthday is on Tuesday. My birthday is on Monday. So for days and dates, you specifically use on. Okay? For days and dates. On 12th March 2019, on Sunday morning. So here also you're actually talking about morning of Sunday. Therefore, on Sunday morning. On Christmas Day. So not just any day, but also for special occasions like on Diwali, on New Year, on Christmas, on Independence Day, on Republic Day, on Holi, on Raksha Bandhan, on Onam. For all these things, you use on for days, dates, and special days like festivals. You're supposed to use on. Now, in is used for longer period of time. For example, in 18th century. What is century? Period of 100 years. In 2010. What is 2010? It is a period of 12 months. In the 1960s. In the next century. Ice Age, period of several centuries. In February, period of 28 to 29 days. Middle Ages. Summer, what is summer? It is a period of few months, 3 to 4 months. In the past, again, it is a longer period of time. So for longer period of time, you always use in. And at is used for time of the day or specific point in time. For example, at 11:30, at 12 o'clock, at lunchtime, at midnight. What is midnight? Midnight is 12 a.m. And what is noon? What is noon? Noon is 12 p.m. Right? So at lunchtime, at bedtime, at sunset, at sunrise. For all these things, you're supposed to use what exactly? You're supposed to use at specific point in time. Now, if at all you have any confusion, you can use this diagram to remember it for eternity, forever. Just take the screenshot of this diagram, and if you want to jot it down, then you can pause the video and jot it down. Jotting down means what? To pen down things, to write down things. Alright, so for precise timing, we use at. For days, dates and special days, you use on. And for century, years, months, seasons and long period of time, you're supposed to use in. But there are few exceptions. So you always say in the morning. What is morning? Period of few hours. That is why we are using in. What is afternoon? Again, period of few hours. Afternoon means what? Time after noon. Noon means exactly 12 p.m. So the time after noon is again a period of few hours, maybe from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So again, it is a period of 4 to 5 hours. So we are using in here, longer period of time. Evening also period of few hours. But there's one exception, that with at, you're always supposed to use at night. And why are we using at night and not in night? We have already discussed in one of the sessions of common mistakes in English. I think second day we have discussed this. Right, so it is always supposed to be at. For poets prefer to use it for creative writing in night, but it is not grammatically correct. You're always supposed to use at night. And on Christmas Day is correct, but whenever you're using just Christmas. Why are we using on before Christmas Day? Because before festivals, you're supposed to use on only. It is a special day, so you're supposed to use on. Just like days, dates and special days, you're supposed to use on. But for just Christmas, if you're using only Christmas as a word, then use at. Otherwise, if you're using day after Christmas, after the word Christmas, then you're supposed to use on. Otherwise, it is at Christmas. This is the only exception. Otherwise, for special days, you're always supposed to use on. On Holi, on Diwali, on Onam, on Pongal, on Raksha Bandhan, on Republic Day, on Independence Day. Alright? But for Christmas, if you're using it as just Christmas, then use at. Alright, so these are the explanations. In for general time frames such as months, years, seasons and longer period of time. So on summer, we went for a vacation. In summer, my bad. You're supposed to use in only with months, years, seasons and longer period of time. I'm really sorry, but you're supposed to use in, not on, for longer period of time, just like months, years, seasons and longer period of time. So in summer 2019, we went to Dubai. In winters, in rainy season. On for specific days, dates and occasion. The event is on Friday, and at for specific point in time. At, and also at is used before night. So this is an exception. Otherwise, before point in time, at noon, at midnight, at lunchtime, you're always supposed to use at. Okay, now try to solve these, and I'll give you around 2 minutes to try each one of them. There are 8 questions on the screen, 8 blanks on the screen. Try it out, and then we shall be discussing the answers. All right. I will be ready to leave in 5 minutes. So the correct answer here is in. Why? Because you're talking about longer period of time. So 5 minutes, again a period of 5 minutes. Therefore, it is a period of time and you're supposed to use in here. Our anniversary is on July 15. So for days, dates and special days, you're supposed to use on. The conference is scheduled to start at 9 a.m. The movie premiere is blank Friday night. Is on Friday night. For special days and dates, you're supposed to use on. And also before days. We usually have breakfast in the morning. The store closes at 8 p.m. The meeting will be held in the conference room. So now this is not preposition of time, but this is preposition of place that we shall be discussing in the next class. So this is the 7th one, is not the example of preposition of time, but we are actually talking about place here, that the meeting is supposed to be held inside the conference room. So here the correct answer would be in, but this is not the example of preposition of time. And the workshop is on the 25th of May. So for days, dates and special days, you're supposed to use on. For longer period of time, it is always in. And for specific point in time, you're supposed to use at. I hope this is clear. All right, so this is the end of our session. We are done with today's session. It was short but to the point. And today we actually discussed a lot of words and also learned one topic of grammar refinement, which I feel is very important. I've seen so many people making mistake on this part. So if at all you enjoyed the session, if you feel like the sessions that we are doing are beneficial, don't forget to hit the like button, because of course that gives me motivation. And we'll be having these live classes for entire December. So please be a part of it, participate, make sure you re-watch it so that you can remember things for eternity. Everything is saved on YouTube. So whenever you feel like revising or you want to reconnect, revisit things, then go on YouTube under live section. You will find each and everything, all the sessions that we are having, which is a part of live YouTube classes. All right, so thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget to like the session to motivate me, and let's connect tomorrow at 9. Bye. Take care.